10 times FouseyTube got humiliated live. From the moment he fainted on live camera during a prank to the time he called himself gay at an award, these are the moments when FouseyTube found himself on the wrong side of embarrassment. If you don't know who FouseyTube is, here's a little backstory. FouseyTube, whose real name is Yousef Erakat, first made waves on the internet with videos packed with all sorts of daring moves and over-the-top pranks. His videos sometimes got him into hot water with people who weren't quite as thrilled about his acts. But love him or hate him, you can't deny that he knows how to get people talking. So, if you've ever wondered why FouseyTube is always making headlines, stick around as we talk about the times FouseyTube got humiliated live. When FouseyTube thought he saw the devil first on the list, is that time Fousey came face to face with the devil. So one day, Yousef's friends decided to mess with him. They told him they'd swing by his place after his meeting for a FIFA session. What he didn't realize was they had other plans. One friend told him to call them when he was done, so they would swing by his place. FouseyTube did just that. After he got home, kicked off his jacket and settled in, he got a call saying his friends were already outside. But as he stepped out, a girl dressed like she'd just crawled out of the cursed well from the horror movie, The Ring, snuck out of his closet, turned off all the lights, and waited in the dark. When FouseyTube came back with his phone flashlight on, he saw the girl and fainted faster than you can say nightmare. His friends had to rush in and revive him. When he woke up, he said that he thought he saw the devil. It's kind of hilarious and embarrassing when the prankster gets pranked so hard, he goes down for the count. When the assistant got angry at his behavior, number 2 on the list got him in big trouble with his assistant. If you're just getting to know about FouseyTube, here's something about him. He is widely known for his live streams, where he's often at the center of the action. But every so often, things don't go quite as planned. Sometimes he gets shut down. One night, FouseyTube and his crew are out and about, and his assistant starts talking to him. As FouseyTube turns to reply, he walks right into a pole. But then things get even crazier. He bolts across the street like he's in a high-stakes chase scene, leaving his crew and assistant surprised. His assistant, clearly fed up, yells, "Yousef!" while trying to keep her cool. She turns to the live stream and tells the person streaming to turn it off. According to her, what FouseyTube was doing was so stupid that the live stream should be turned off until he can calm down. Having his live stream cut off in the middle of the action was a pretty humiliating moment for Yousef. And honestly, it's hard to argue that he didn't bring it on himself. I mean, what was he even doing? When the hotel kicked out FouseyTube, but in this next video, he knew exactly what he was doing and just pretended he didn't. FouseyTube always has his camera rolling, and one day he finds himself at a hotel doing the same thing. But the hotel wasn't too happy about it. Privacy for their guests is one of their top policies, and Fousey streaming everything was rubbing the staff the wrong way. It all started when he tried to pay for some drinks. He was trying to be nice, but it didn't matter. The staff stepped in and told him to stop recording, but Fousey didn't listen. He even tried to tell them that he was streaming on Kick. He then proceeded to say that one of the staff looked like Paul Blart from Mall Cop. They didn't think it was as funny as he did, and then, bam, he gets threatened with trespassing. The whole thing was awkward and embarrassing, especially since Fousey couldn't seem to calm down, and his jokes just fell flat. He got kicked out, live on camera. When FouseyTube's favorite band rejected him, but on the days when Yousef isn't getting kicked out on camera and is instead humiliated by those he loves, what does he do? Here's the answer. This one time, he was thrilled to see his favorite band at a club. When he finally got the chance, Yousef proudly shouted out that he'd flown all the way from LA just to see them perform. Now here's where things got awkward. The band didn't care. They barely even acknowledged him. That was a major blow to his ego. Feeling hurt, Fousey began to whine about being rejected, and if that wasn't enough, he broke down crying on camera. Definitely not one of his best moments. When FouseyTube accidentally called himself gay on camera. And this next video is even more embarrassing. When Yousef started his channel back in 2011, things took off pretty fast. One of his early videos, Arab Parents Be Like, got a ton of attention and helped him build a huge following. With over 10 million subscribers and billions of views, it's no surprise he became a big name on the platform. Yousef has also won some awards like the Streamy Awards, which was where things took an embarrassing turn for him. At the 2016 Streamy Awards, FouseyTube took the stage to accept his Entertainer of the Year award. With a big smile, he started by giving a shout-out to the people he regarded as the best family on YouTube. But then, Yousef decided to get real with the audience. He admitted that that year, he'd become one of the most disliked YouTubers out there. And why? Maybe it was because he let Rice Gum punch him on camera, or because he spilled the beans that 99% of YouTube pranks are totally fake. He went on to share something personal. For a long time, he said he'd looked at himself in the mirror and felt pretty awful. He let the nasty comments get to him, making him feel worthless, ugly, and even gay. But then, in classic Yousef style, he started to backtrack. He was like, no, like that's based on what they told me. He couldn't save himself, though. And just to make things even more awkward, at that exact moment, the camera decided to zoom in on his assistant, who also happened to be his girlfriend. When FouseyTube got rejected by a girl. So there's another hilarious moment from one of Yousef's live streams. He was doing his usual thing, trying to make some moves, and decided to ask a girl if he could get her Instagram. But then she rejected him right on the spot. Instead of just saying, okay, no worries, Yousef apologized to her, but quickly clarified that he wasn't sorry for hitting on her. He was just sorry she was dating someone else. Classic Yousef, trying to turn an awkward situation into comedy. But it was still pretty cringy. When FouseyTube got punched in the face, and let's not forget that wild moment when FouseyTube got punched on camera. It all went down during Season 3 of Reality House. You know, that reality show where YouTubers live together and compete in challenges. Yousef and Bryce Hall, another YouTuber, got into a heated altercation. Why, you ask? Well, Bryce called him out for putting his hands on a woman, and yikes, Yousef actually did. He pushed a woman's head back a little too forcefully, and of course, people weren't cool with that. But Bryce wasn't afraid to call him out. He straight up told Yousef that he did put his hands on a woman, which clearly didn't sit well with Yousef. He warned Bryce to stop saying that stuff, like he was really trying to hold his ground. At this point, you'd think Yousef could take on anything. I mean, he was talking tough, right? Nope. Bryce wasn't having it. With just one punch to the face, Bryce sent Yousef flying, knocked him out cold, flat on his back, like Tom getting hit with a pan by Jerry. It was brutal. And let's be real, super embarrassing. When FouseyTube got beaten up for trash talking, but it wasn't as embarrassing as the time FouseyTube was all geared up for his boxing match against Delunji, another YouTuber, and the trash talk was flying. Yousef was full of confidence, saying he was going to bring the heat with his punching power and leave Deji reeling. He even went as far as claiming he had the edge because of his tough life experiences, while Deji, according to him, had it easy, living comfortably at home. But Deji wasn't fazed. He calmly said he was just going to get in the ring and have fun, letting his fists do the talking. And boy, did they talk. On August 27, 2022, Deji took Fousey down, winning by TKO, leaving Fousey vowing never to fight again. When FouseyTube's assistant didn't want to kiss him, now that we know FouseyTube has had some serious issues with other YouTubers. From getting punched by Bryce Hall to being beaten by Deji, let's not forget that things haven't always gone smoothly in his personal life either. In fact, one of the most cringeworthy moments came when Fousey tried to kiss his assistant, who also happened to be his girlfriend at the time. And let's just say it didn't go as planned. It was one of those moments where you could almost feel the awkwardness through the screen. Fousey leaned in for a kiss, but she clearly wasn't feeling it. She grabbed his hand, almost like she was trying to push him away, but he still went for it and kissed her anyway. When a waitress screamed at FouseyTube, and in this last video, Fousey tried to mess with a waitress, thinking it'd be another one of his pranks. But instead of laughing or playing along, she completely threw him off by screaming at him and his friends. You could tell he wasn't expecting that. His face said it all. Fousey and his group were complaining about being hungry, but still couldn't decide on what to order. The waitress had clearly had enough. She didn't hold back and told them straight up, "Are you kidding me? You're sitting here complaining that you want food, but you can't even order." Then she warned them she was about to leave if they didn't figure it out soon. She even went as far as saying, "Don't make me treat you like a child and count to 5. She just wasn't messing around. And there you have it. 10 times FouseyTube found himself in seriously embarrassing situations. From fainting at the sight of the devil to getting kicked out of hotels and even punched on camera, it's safe to say Fousey has had more than his fair share of awkward moments live. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future uploads. Let me know in the comments what moment you thought was the most humiliating, or if I missed any epic FouseyTube fails. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.